What's up, gamers? This is Th3Ruthless, and today we're going to say everything about Gladiator, PvE, and PvP, so you can have a full idea on how to play the class, and it's going to be an amazing trip because Gladiator is an amazing class. So let's go. So starting off, we're going for the PvP skill set. Let's go. And we're going to take skills one by one and explain you why you need and what. So first things first, the auto hit, we always have it for MP restored because we want something to restore our MP when we're out of MP. And then you give 1 second to Ruinous Blow, which is your charge. Now, following up, it's our right click. We're gonna go with plus 200 block while using the skill, and we will also change it to mobile skill so we can move whenever we're attacking a player. Because once your skills are on cooldown, you have to spam right click in order to do some damage and pressure up the enemy. Then we have the Leaping Slam. On the Leaping Slam, we put 50% chance to activate Ankle Slice. The Ankle Slice is this one. We always want it because we can loot the enemy this way. And 20% damage tolerance increase for 3 seconds. Now, you can probably... I like this part that you have 20% damage tolerance because it's PvP. We need to have damage tolerance. Someone can change the Ankle Strike, the Ankle Slice, if you want to prepare for battle, because this is also an effect that gives you a nice buff, but I wouldn't recommend it. In my experience, this one worked much better. Then we have Mocking Blade. On the Mocking Blade, we add 2 additional strikes, and we ignore block and evasion and ladds as multi-hit. This is to do much more damage and to also ignore the block and the evasion. So we always hit this amazing skill. And this is your bread and butter. This is the chain starter, and we will always be using this. Now, moving forward to Overhead Slam. On PvP, we have it absorb 20% of the damage as HP. On PvE, you put it as a AoE skill because you do more damage on AoE. And we have guaranteed a crit on hit. Now, when you hit 16 level with the skill, unfortunately, I haven't done it yet because you can only do that from Arcana and it's random or from items. Unfortunately, I don't have it. And also, I shifted my focus from Arena to PvE because I wanted to see more in the end game, so I had to focus on my Sword Aura. So that's why it's almost 20 level. But let's continue saying about Overhead Slam. You need guaranteed crit on hit, and then you need to get it ASAP at 16 level to get the remove cooldown. So when someone is knocked down, you keep spamming this E button and you do tons of damage. Then this is not being used in Arena, so we're moving forward to Ankle Slice. Ankle Slice is another mini charge for you, so you make it 16-meter range, so you can keep getting close to the enemies. Now, you can either use ignore, block, and evasion, or to add this skill, which is Ankle Smash, which I don't really use it on PvP. You can use it on PvE, so I go this always. Now, this is your bread and butter to reach the enemy along with Rush Strike, and I will explain in a while. Then we have Crashing Wave. On Crashing Wave, very important skill, and I will explain why as well. We have reset cooldown on landing a critical hit, so you can spam it as much as possible. And then you put pull. Why you put pull? Because when your things are on cooldown and you put this, you interrupt casts and you are intrusive on your enemy. You interrupt what he wants to do when he gets pulled. So this is very important, especially when you play against healers. Okay, this is number one fail for a cleric, for example. Like clerics are no problem at all just because of this skill, because you interrupt them all the time, and then when your cooldowns are back, you slam on the ground and you keep hitting them. Moving forward, Rush Strike. Here we got plus 10-meter range because it's another gap closer, and we have minus 10 seconds on Rush Strike, so we can use it as often as possible to close the gap between us and the enemies, because there are many enemies that are ranged, they have a lot of CC, and we need to be able to reach them all the time as soon as possible. Then you have Aerial Snare. When you down someone, then you can use Aerial Snare. You add a Forced Fall chain skill because it's extra damage when the effect of Aerial Snare finishes, and then you use Aerial Snare 25% airborne chance. Chance is always good. We need everything to happen. Now, probably if you get it to 16 level, I haven't tested it, probably we're gonna need a 50% chance cooldown. So if you make it on 16 level, you can... I think you should use the same, and if you reach 20, you should put the Aerial Snare cooldown on. Now, Ruinous Blow, your heaviest damage, Ruinous Blow, plus 12.5 meter range because you need to have maximum range on this one. Now, some people would say 20% skill speed. I don't think it's needed. I would go for prepare battle duration, so you can combo it with, it was this one. Yeah. So you can, for starters, if you, there's a combo. If on Leaping Slam, oh my god. Okay, all good. So if on Leaping Slam you put prepare battle effect on the caster, then on the Ruinous Blow, I changed them again. On the Ruinous Blow, you're gonna use a plus 5 seconds on prepare battle duration. If not, then you are gonna use 12.5 meters, and then you are gonna use change to mobile skill, so you will be able to be moving when you are casting this. But the thing is that we mostly use it on a specific combo, and I will explain which one is it. But of course, you can use it off combo because it will happen as well. And then last but not least is Defiance. I always put restore HP on casting, and then you either put 10% damage reflection or plus 2 seconds tenacity. I would say a 2+ second tenacity duration will be really good, so you don't get CC'd. Now, the most important skills are the Stigma ones. So let's go to Stigma ones. Not that the rest are not important, but Stigma hurts and they are very important. Now, I always use Blade Toss. It deals a lot of damage, it slows your targets and reduces their defense. So for me, it's a very important skill. I always use it. It's one of my favorite skills. You can use it for PvE as well. So you don't have to reroll all the time your skills. Now, ignore the skills that I won't mention because right here you can see a mix of PvE and PvP skills because I have to use everything. Another important PvP skill is the silence. Force Restraint. When you stun somewhere and you use your whole combo on them, then you silence them so you can keep harassing them effectively after your chain combo, and you save time in order for your cooldowns to come back. Then we have Rage Burst that we use on combos because it does 20% more damage to impact type status target. So if someone is knocked down, for example, let's say this skill, it has 50% chance to inflict knockdown. So if you knock down someone, then you have to do a chain. I will explain the chain. I won't tell you now, so you don't get messed. So what you have to know is this one is very important because you slow them, and if you level them up, okay? And also on 15 level, you break protective shields. It's a really important skill in PvP. You cannot ignore this, okay? Moving forward, you will take focused block because you can absorb spells, and you can you should take this to level 5 because it has one consecutive cast in order to be safer. Okay, right now I haven't leveled it up, but it should be important for you. Then there's something controversial. This spell that makes you immune for 5 seconds, I don't know if you should use it in the arena because it's 2.3 2 minutes and 30 seconds cooldown, which means that you will have it only once or twice if the match is big. So you should use the block that it's 20-second cooldown and you can use it all the time. This is really important. Also block only from frontal attacks. As you can see, the probably increases block damage reduction in front attacks by 100% and guarantees parry. So then we have Rage Burst. When you knock down someone, you use your Rage Burst. And as we said before, the Forced Restraint for the silence. Now, how do we use all this together? Let's go and see. Okay, so we have gone a bit into the Google Village. I'll find some mobs that can take a beating and show you the combo that we have to use. So, let's get this guy right here. Come with me, mate. I want to show you something really fast. So, we always start with a Mocking Blade, and then we go into the Airborne. We use our Rage Burst, and then we Restrain. So, you start by going on them, getting your buffs, you slam them, you get them on air, you use this, you slam them down, you silence them, you slowing them, and then they will try to go away, and you use your charge to go near them, and again to get them with your ankle strike to root them into place and do the same again. Then you repeat the combo and it's exactly the same. You won't have your lift up, but you will have again your E, which is the full damage you can do. And then you can see all the time you can close the gap between you and the enemies all the time. If you press shift, the cooldown is really small. You can always go near them, stun them, get them down, and repeat your cooldowns. So the most important to remember is that when you get them into the floor, you get them up and then you use your cooldowns accordingly. You don't want to get them on the floor, so you press one time only to, and then you press it again after you have used your rage burst. This is really important because you are winning time all the time, and when the other one is airborne, he can do nothing. So that's what you want to do. You want to win time and do everything on the air. Now, if you want to get someone, for example, if you don't want them to get them with Leaping Slam, the best thing you can do to make a full combo with more damage is to first use a blade toss. If you are already in combat, you can go near them with a simple shift. I'm not in combat, let me hit it. Okay, now if I press a shift, you see that I have the Q here ready to go. It's a rush strike that will have a chance to knock him down. So if you knock him down, most people tend to panic, and if you knock them down, they just press the spacebar. So anyway, this is the combo. You get them, you stun them, and then you are using your full combo on them. Now, I didn't do it much correctly because he went airborne for some reason before I do that. But you have to remember the correct sequence is Mocking Blade, then Aerial Snare, then Rage Burst, then Aerial Snare again. It will be the second skill that Aerial chains with. And then you use your Forced Restraint. If you want to do more damage before that, you need to press a blade toss in between. I will show you right now. So, blade toss, grab them on the air. You can even charge instead of knocking them down, but the silence must always happen before they go away, and then you kill them. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you want to use your block, remember it's very important to use it when you are snared or when the enemy, for example with the rogues, if the enemy jumps behind you, you have to understand that after he jumps, if you need to turn and use your block, or if he stuns you, you instantly use your space and then use your block immediately to try to fend him off. Every different character needs a different approach that you have to understand and find out when you're doing PvP. So I cannot help you on that. I can only help you with the rotation and things that work consistently. Apart from that, you have to learn your combat basics while playing arena against different classes. The only advice I can give you against Cleric is to use this Crushing Wave as much as possible, because you don't let them to freely cast. Or if you have everything on cooldown, Crushing Wave with pull is very, very good against support characters. And that's all. Let's go to PvE. So now for the PvE, the skills will change a bit. We'll start from the basic ones. Auto hit, it goes 20% MP restored and minus 1 second to Rending Blow. It stays the same. We go to Rending Blow, and instead of block, we are making it max 12% damage when there are less than 3 targets. Also changed mobile skill, but that remains the same. Now we have Leaping Slam. Now Leaping Slam, we definitely need to prepare for battle effect on the caster. It's very important. And you can also use, very important also, cooldown reset on defeating an enemy, because on a party an enemy will be defeated when you're farming, or when you're farming AoE, so you can reset and use the target again, the skill again, in order to take another prepare for battle. Now on Mocking Blade, we need to change it to AoE damage on down strike. So when you hammer the enemy, you just only do it twice, and then on down strike, it's AoE, so you can hit everyone. We don't need the 2 additional strikes because we are an immovable target at the point, and we get damage when we are farming a lot of mobs. And then ignore block and evasion, because some mobs, if you go to a dungeon, they have high block, and you need this to be ignored. Now, Overhead Slam, guaranteed critical hit and remove cooldown. This is the most important thing. Remove cooldown. If you get it, go for remove cooldown, guaranteed critical hit. If you're on PvE and you don't have this level 20, then you go for guaranteed for AoE skill and probably remove cooldown as well, because if you get one target down for 4 seconds, you can spam like 4 different skills on him, and it's gonna be AoE. One of the most important skills, Sword Aura Rampage, is the skill that we are using when we defeat the Goat's Meter of a boss. Now, you need to take this as up to 20 level. I have it 19 right now, but on 16 level, the most important skill comes abroad, which is -1 second to all skill cooldowns on hit. So when you're spamming this, you get all your cooldowns back. This is the most important thing. This is for everyone. And then we have guaranteed multi-hit, so we can do more damage. Now, moving forward, we have Ankle Slice. Okay, it's not important, a very important PvE skill. It is only when you are farming at the outer world or in the daily dungeon and stuff like that. 16 meter to Ankle Slice range in order for you to jump from a mob to another, ignore block and evasion, and lands as a multi-hit, important as well, take more damage. Now, if you have problem with survivability when you are alone, you can make some stuff to absorb 20% as HP damage. I don't recommend it because Gladiator never had a problem like that. I've never found a problem like that, so you won't have a problem as well. If you have any problem, let me know in the comments and I will find a solution specific for you. Moving forward, we have forgot one. We have Crashing Wave. Crashing Wave, reset cooldown on landing a critical hit because you crit all the time, because the most important stat for the Gladiator is the critical. I will analyze the stats after we use this one. So you get reset cooldown on landing critical hit and then pull. So you pull the mobs all the time and they don't have time to hit you. Shift, like dodge and stun. This is what Th3Ruthless is about. Plus 10 meter range. If you want, you can put restore 300 stamina on hit if you feel that you need more dodge all the time. I will keep the cooldown. Changing to charge skill and AoE damage was not really beneficial. I didn't really enjoy it. So you are free to do it and you are free to try things. I am giving you my opinion on things that I tried. This one is okay, but I don't think you will play with it a lot. So avoid it. Now this one, you can change aerial snare 25% because on mobs I think it's 100%. So you change this one to guaranteed multi-hit on hit, sorry, not multi-hit. And then add the force ball, let's change skill, it's also good. And then we go to Ruinous Blow, your heaviest damage. Again, you go for the range and for mobile skill if the fight in the dungeons in the Arcana are heavy into movement. Okay, so you can change this all the time. I would say if you use it as a combo to Leaping Slam and then Ruinous Blow, you should put the plus 5 second on prepare back duration. If you get it to level 16, it's important to get ignore block and evasion, so the bosses will never block it because it's half the damage and you don't want that. So that's pretty much it from the basic skills. Now let's go to Stigma. Now your character changes a bit. You have to use different skills. Now, Tenaciousness, I will start from this one because it's controversial. If you think you can not survive some mechanics that the dungeon have, you can always use Tenaciousness to avoid them. You cannot avoid all of them. Some of them are fatal and you cannot avoid them. But for example, the wall in the Fire Temple is something that you can avoid with Tenaciousness. Let's say jump from the Urugugu. If the Urugugu gets you with the eye that everyone has to gather on you, you can avoid it and stay solo. Same goes for the gorilla on the Ascendance. Okay, on the first one. I don't remember exactly the name. So this is a controversial skill. If you want to use it for survivability, use it. If you don't want to use it, put something like increase caster's combat speed by 20% for 10 seconds in order to help your party. I wouldn't suggest something else, or I don't know, this one. These are not skills that you can use really well within dungeons, so I wouldn't recommend them apart from this to buff your party. Now this, the most important thing, it has a 50 stagger ghost damage. It's your stagger skill. You have to use it in every dungeon you go that has a boss encounter. Full stop. Then Zekiel's Blessing, one of the most amazing skills a Gladiator has, because increases attack by 20% for the caster and nearby members, of course, amazing. but it also increases Tiger Goat's damage by 50%. So this, instead of 50, it will do 75 damage. Okay, this is really important also. And then we have, of course, the Blatos that you will always use before the buff, for example, before the staggered damage meter goes off, before any big damage phase, you use this to increase the damage on the boss, because this one works for the whole party also, when you reduce the defense of an enemy. This is very important also. Now let's talk a bit about the passive skills. The passives are really important. You should level most of them. I would recommend attack preparation is really important. Identify weakness is also really important. Blood absorption is important for PvE. It keeps you alive. Up to 12 level, I haven't seen very important and significant resistance from mobs to kill them, so I just left it there. Block. Increase block by 200. This is very important for PvP mostly, and for PvE when you solo farming, because when you are in a dungeon, you are not tanking, so you should not take damage. And then we have survival stance, of course, 35% extra HP. And natural HP regen, very important from the first row are these 4 ones. I would give most importance to attack preparation, and then to identify weakness, and then the other 2. So these 2 are really, really, really important. Stack of minas is okay, not something important. Survival power, increase the caster status effects resist by 24%. This, if you want to play in the arena, you need the max level. Okay. I was lucky to be in top 50 in the Taiwan server in the arena by having this at level 6. This is, and also it's because I shifted my focus to PvE in order to see the end game. But if you want to play PvP, this is really, really important. For PvE, not so much, but for PvP, it's super important. Caster damage boost by 17 seconds for 3 seconds on successful block. Another PvP skill. It can be also used on PvE because you block damage from mobs. But I would say that it's also an important skill. This one is not a very important skill. And then we have increases impact type chances 55% and smite by 4.5%. Very, 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 very important. Highest importance 3 first skills are these 3 ones. So you know which ones to get on your arcana. Attack preparation, identify weakness, impact hit, and then you will find out the rest depending on what you want to focus mostly. I would suggest you focus fully on PvE, and when you have everything, shift your focus to PvP, because PvE is what giving you everything for starters, like skills, level skills, the arcana, which levels up your passive and your active skills. Is very, very, very important. Also from the abyss, you don't need to take PvP gear. Go take Stigma Skills, because if you see Stigma Skills give you a lot of things. For example, imagine playing against a Templar and having 15 level Deblatos, which breaks protective shields. Every time a tank would shield in front of you, you break his shields and you render him useless. So it's really, really, really important. I think we covered everything. Let's go talk about the stats that the Gladiator needs. Now, I won't analyze everything gear by gear, but I will give you some of the most important ones. Of course, you need attack, accuracy, and critical hit. These 3 are really, really, really important. You need critical all the time. Combat speed, you are one of the classes that needs a lot of combat speed, and accuracy. Combat speed and accuracy are really important. Make sure you have on your weapon, you have might, reroll the items, you can reroll them all the time. You need might, precision, combat speed, and here instead of block, weapon damage would be amazing, but I don't have something to trade it right now. This is what I'm going to do to change the block for weapon damage. If you have might, precision, combat speed, and weapon damage, you have the perfect weapon for the Gladiator. Now, of course, you always want to have critical hit on your weapons and your, let's say, armor. It's random what will you will get. Check to get the most out of the stats that are important. For example, MP is not important. If you have 3 with MP and 1 with attack 100, you don't need it. You will have to swap it. Same goes with any other. If you have materials, you do this. If you don't have, you go with what you get. So the most important thing is to remember to have enough accuracy to not miss or block, precision, might, and of course critical hit. Now for the defenses, critical hit, resist, and defense, It's okay, you don't need evasion. I have some evasion, unfortunately, but I don't think our class needs evasion at all. So try to avoid evasion. And that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, you can also come to our Discord server. I answer questions every day, all day. I'm streaming every day on Twitch and TikTok as well. So you are free to follow me there and watch me and come play with me live. We play many different games. I play mostly MMOs and FPS. You are welcome to come anytime. Even if I'm playing another game, you are welcome to ask for Aion. No problem. I will stop what I'm doing at the moment. Or when I finish my round, for example, and then I will answer your question and whatever you might need. Thanks a lot for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one.